Welcome to Blind Shovel, an arts and music podcast. Today I speak with industrial designer Matthew Caulfield. Enjoy. What's up?
Is that better?
Yep.
Awesome.
Are you mic'd up or no?
I'm mic'd up.
I think you're good.
All right, sweet.
So what's going on?
Oh, not too much. It's good to hear your voice.
Same. It's been a long time.
It has.
You are in New York City.
That's right. I'm in the Bronx.
Has that been true ever since UArts in Philadelphia?
We first landed in Brooklyn near Pratt, so my wife could go to school there.
Okay.
So we were in Bed-Stuy and then Queens, and now we're up in the Bronx.
And remind me, you went to school for what?
Just studio art. I was actually in the crafts department at UArts. But,
Right. But you kind of didn't make very crafts-like work, if I recall.
Right. Yeah.
What did you make? Remind me.
Kind of sculpture, I would say.
Functional or non?
Non-functional, yeah.
But now I see this wallet that you designed, that Logan.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
Gave me. This is going to be an hour-long advertisement for the Peeler wallet.
That's what I was hoping.
So I've given them out to many people. I will give you the feedback after this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So how did this happen?
When I moved to Brooklyn, I was commuting to work in Chelsea by bike, and I was also still heavily into skating. And I don't know what happened to my wallet. It was just like too big. So I was just looking for a way to just keep a couple cards. So I stole an eyeglasses case from my wife and shoved everything in there, cut it in half and shoved it in there. And I was like, this is kind of nice. And, but it didn't hold cash. So I just got designing and, started making them out of leather. And that was actually a really cool pattern. And I was giving those out to really close family, couple friends, and people loved them and held on to them until they were really unusable. And they'd ask me for more.
How long ago was this?
This was actually a long time ago, 8-9 years ago.
And you have no formal training in this kind of thing. Is that accurate? You just saw a need and you created a wallet?
For myself. Just for myself. Totally just for myself.
So what was the transition to trying to make it a legitimate product?
So what it was, I was just getting frustrated because I had one of my best friends was like, hey, can I get 3 of those? I'm thinking about giving them out as Christmas gifts. How much? And I was doing the math. I was like,
$300.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was make this sustainable. And it was actually really fun. I was really trying to go down a route that felt cool with the leather. I was trying to build the whole backstory of the brand. So I'd go get goat skin that was vegetable tanned in the Hudson Valley locally and all this stuff. And I got a little press to help punch the holes and everything. So I was kind of thinking about doing the leather route. And but when I told people the price, it was kind of got scoffs. So I was I always had this in the back of my head, if I could figure out a way to mold this. And my work slowed down with all the COVID shutdown. So I learned 3D modeling program. I learned Fusion and made a rendering of the form and then got it sent out.
Would you be opposed to putting that history on the website and showing images of the prototypes and stuff? I find that kind of interesting.
I'm not totally opposed. No.
I kind of like that journey because, you're kind of starting off real granola with it, and then you end up at, I guess I like, because having, started to build more functional things, You enter in with these ideals and you have certain value sets that are kind of personal. And then it kind of clashes with who you know and the amount of money they have. Like, I don't know super wealthy people. I know middle-class people mostly. Yeah. And so that resonates for me, like being like, oh yeah, this is like a $300, $400
it was
wallet.
Also like for skating. It wasn't like to be showy. It wasn't to be like having a nice handcrafted leather wallet. Originally, it was just like a step up from a rubber band. That's like kind of, or a plastic bag. That's kind of what I was going for.
Right. And so you end up with, it was silicone?
Yeah, it's silicone. Yeah. Which I'm pretty excited about as a material. I think it's still pretty within my,
why? What is
ideals?
Tell me about it.
I mean, this is nothing that I've done research on, but from what I just like Google and can see on the internet, it's pretty ocean neutral. So it's not a plastic. It's basically it's derived from sand. So the process is not environmentally neutral because you take so much heat to create the silicone, but then it doesn't degrade and leach and become microplastics like a lot of things. So it can pass. That's why a lot of like baby food utensils and things are being made out of it. It's very neutral. Like you can eat it. Any ocean life can eat it. It will just pass through.
So,
but it doesn't break down. People are like, is it compostable? No, absolutely not. It lasts
a really
long time.
And you got it down to a very reasonable price point.
Yeah.
And what would is that $20?
I have it on the website for $20 now. Yeah.
And was that where you always had it at, or did you have to, I don't know, was there like volume issues? Did you have it at a higher price point before you started getting going?
It's still pretty, at least it feels recent. Like I'm giving it as much time as I can, but it's like here and there. So it's feels like it's moving kind of quick, but I guess the website's been up since the end of summer. Yeah. And we're still in the fall. So that was the first price that I put online. So it's still there.
Where is it manufactured?
In China.
Where's that? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I mean, this is a reality that has to be faced when you're trying to make a product based on efficiency. You know,
absolutely.
Like this, and that's an interesting shift, as well, that, so I like to talk about this dichotomy of efficiency models versus innovative models. And the way you can tell the difference is innovative models, the person cares about where it comes from, as opposed to like an efficiency model where it's just who can do this the cheapest. And like you were starting off with this very intimate process, very personal, and then to get it into more hands, you often have to shift to a completely different model. And yeah, you have to grapple with, am I okay with making it in China, et cetera? These aren't easy answers, but these are the realities of actually doing something. And I love doing things because it humbles you and removes
extremely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like people who have opinions usually don't do much, I find. And because first of all, people have way too many opinions in general, but they don't, like, to judge someone running a business and the waste that comes from it is very easy when you haven't run that business. Even having run one business, it doesn't tell you much about running another business. Totally. And I do certainly think past businesses were neglectful of the environment in many ways, especially car companies. But running a wood shop, like, man, it is a real challenge to maintain efficiency, not have a super cluttered space, and not have waste. It's a very interesting challenge.
Absolutely. Is that something that you've been doing?
Yeah, but I don't want to go too deep into that.
Right. Very cool.
Because this is about you and the peeler. Does it inspire you to do more things like this, or are you kind of
absolutely? And actually, I'm trying to figure out a way to get back into the innovative model of it. Like, I think there's still plenty of opportunity. Like, I can imagine tons of ways. Like, if the manufacturing was onshored here, and close by. Like I want to be there for the process when they're putting the colors in or putting different additives in. Just that
so
alone.
you want to grow your intimacy with the peeler. You don't want to make more peelers. You want to double down on the peeler.
Yep. And then, well, it's just all practical parameters too. It's like, each developing a new mold is a big expense.
Yeah.
For me at this point. So yeah, it's dealing with colors and printing and these kind of things is very approachable. So like, yeah, there's ideas about, my wife is from Hong Kong, and my in-laws, my son's grandparents are still out there in Hong Kong, so we can go visit them and stay there. And then I just fantasize about going to visit the factory and seeing if they'll give me some time to play with those kind of things. So I guess that's bringing some of the innovative side of it back in.
Yeah. So you don't have like this. It's interesting. You're committed to the peeler. You don't want to make more peelers or solve different problems. You really want to focus on this one problem.
Oh yeah. Cause I'm still learning. The challenge was posed to my wife and I. Like her parents have a manufacturing background, and they have experience in knowing people that are trying to sell things. And they're like, okay, you made it. That's the easy part. Now you got to sell it. So we're still trying to figure out that part of the business, which is fascinating, and so, endless learning to be done. It seems like doing sales and all this stuff. Yeah.
That's my Achilles heel, is promotion. It's just too intangible for me. It's just like, it's all just kind of washes away, but making real things, I mean, I know over time they wash away, but that's my Achilles heel as well. It's just, how do you get it out there in the sea of oversaturated nonsense that is just like material reality at this point?
Yeah.
So
it feels like I'm pushing myself into aspects that never came naturally to me. Just, like cold face-to-face interactions with people that have stores. And,
what's their reaction to it? Because I can say my reaction was initially, this price point is very convincing for, these kind of, I don't know what to call it besides like the new era of wallets, which seem to have emerged with like early podcasting with like the Ridge wallet and this idea of having like a smaller wallet as opposed to like a George Costanza wallet.
Exactly.
And I
want to get the rights to that. That'd be great.
What do people tend to say when they see it?
At stores?
Yeah.
So I've approached some skate shops, some bike shops, and they are very receptive, and a lot of people use it themselves. And I still, to be honest, I have to like loop back with some of these places and see what the deal is, like if they've given it any more thought. But yeah, nobody's really bit like, we could definitely sell this, or it's a numbers game. I just have to do it more and more. And that's part of, what I'm saying. It's just like forcing me to do that. And it's cool because I think a lot of the, like how you were saying, it's all ephemeral, like all this social media and Google ads and stuff gives you like, it gamifies everything in a way that can be fun and keep you going. But it does feel like a little, like
empty.
Amounting to nothing sometimes.
I think by definition, when you gamify, you increase efficiency and you increase emptiness, because it's just like, it's just, I don't know. It kind of drains the thing of any type of spontaneity in some weird way.
Yeah, but totally. And that's what I love about just going into the stores and see, which one of the people are there. Is it the manager? Is it the owner? Is it somebody working at the register? And just get all different opinions. And just this venture has just made me super appreciative and admire anybody that has any kind of business that they started. So I'm just psyched to learn and that's what I need to understand, like how to be approaching these shops. I'm still totally new to what to tell them.
I mean, inventing something is wild.
Yeah.
It's inventing things that actually change the world is even more insane. But it's also just these little things. Like, and they always start with these little needs that you have.
Yeah.
It's very, I've never invented a thing like that, but I mean, do you look at another wallet and see, I mean, surely you must have looked around at other wallets at that time and said,
Oh, that's absolutely kind of part of the story. Is like, I was like, this is not my, I was like, refused to have it be my calling. It's like,
sure,
I just want to buy it, please. Like, I still, to this point, I'm like, please, I'm going to go on Amazon and it's going to be there. And I'm going to say like, oh, thank God. It's over.
Oh, because you want to reject the call.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I've just been rejecting the call like the entire time. Like, and that's kind of what I have to go on. It's like, nobody is doing it. Nobody's doing it.
And what's the name all about?
It's a term that this guy I work with, he goes surfing in Cape Cod where it's, not the best waves, but him and his son will get super psyched and he calls the waves there peelers, which I think
that's interesting. My brother surfs. Yeah. No, my brother surfs, and that's exactly what he alluded to. And obviously the logo alludes to that, right?
Yeah, so small, perfect, but it's a wave as opposed to a wallet.
And these 3 colors you landed on, can you talk about that process?
Yeah. So one downside of silicone without any kind of chemical treatments on the surface is that it's static. So it will attract some dust, and keeping a lighter tone as opposed to black, it just disguises the dust, which but the plus side is it just wipes off super easy if you just get like a wet paper towel or whatever.
So you can explore colors on the lighter side, but you're not fixed in those 3 particular colors you have, which are like coral, moss, and gray. I don't know if that's accurate, but
gray. Yep. Yeah. We call them apricot, sage, and we call them apricot, sage. I got my wife's going to remind me to pick up my son here.
You got it. You already know.
Yeah, we're good.
So you have a son.
Yes. That's
not a minor detail.
No.
And do you think the peeler was invented before him?
It was.
Interesting.
It was. They ramped up around the same time. Yeah.
Okay. Did he inspire you to kind of enter into society in a more practical way like that?
No, but inspired me to really dream about, what this might be able to turn into.
Why is that?
Yeah. Just like more motivation to just be more financially independent and that kind of thing, and flexible with my own time and setting my own schedule. It's like, it seems even more valuable now. So it's more motivation.
Because up until now and still currently, you make money via being a sound engineer. Is that correct?
Yep.
And you've been doing that for like a decade or so?
Yeah, exactly.
But what is that? That's for film and TV?
Yeah, so I do sound recording on set, mostly dialogue recording.
How did you end up there, coming from that prior background we discussed?
I was blessed with a mentor.
Does this involve that film Logan was in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that Ed?
I mean, yeah, Ed, invited me to work on that film, but yeah, it's kind of related. I worked on that as I was getting started, but no, Ed wasn't my mentor for sound.
Okay. But this isn't, I mean, I like always describing how people get to where they are now.
Yeah.
And it sounded like you were interested in sculpture in a very literal way, physical. Yeah. And then you kind of had an odd job that involved sound engineering.
Yep.
Is that fair? And then did you move to New York and then you found your mentor?
No, moving to New York is what allowed me to meet my mentor in sound. So I was like temping for a while when I got here. That was great. And, got to see all different, like, I was temping? Just like, I signed up with a temp agency and they send me on different jobs.
Okay. Yeah. Like freelance, but all related to sound or?
No. It was one of my jobs was checking tickets at a back stairwell on the Intrepid, which is like a big The boat where they land planes.
Sure.
Yeah. That's a museum now. So I was I was like in a steel stairwell in the back of the boat where nobody comes in, but I was supposed to like catch people sneaking in. So I would just sit in a stairwell all day. And then I was organizing seamless orders at Goldman Sachs because I'd get a huge rush of dinner orders.
Yeah, Goldman Sachs. Yeah. And do you feel that in some ways, does the peeler endeavor kind of allow yourself to embody your best characteristics more than the sound engineer thing? Or do you think you'll keep them in tandem even if the peeler succeeds?
I'd love to keep them in tandem for as long as possible, yeah.
So you enjoy the sound engineering? Definitely,
yeah. Because, it's fun to be part of a crew, and I'm still partners with my mentor, and I like, I value that relationship. We have other people that work with us too, and it's cool. We get to see all kinds of cool stuff, access to different people and locations, and it's pretty fun.
And
but no financial or time freedom, really.
Yeah.
That's the tough part, yeah.
And do you feel that going to art school was ultimately necessary or a good use of time?
Good use of time.
I mean, it's a tough question.
I think so.
I mean,
I don't know if I'd give like just for me personally. It's just totally personal, yeah.
Sure,
I thought it was great, yeah.
I think I asked because, you have a good temperament. It seems to me that you generally have a good time. But because I have a lot to say about art school, which is the negative side. But the only reason I ask is sometimes people's careers evolve in a very logical way. They study the thing and then they are the thing and then they die. But yours, it seems to be a little more circuitous and almost has no relationship to what you studied in school. I could be wrong, though.
Absolutely.
So do you yearn for the days of sculpture, or is the peeler, is that enough? Is that moment of designing infusion and then kind of honing the process, does that evoke that prior study?
It's, I think it's, when I was more focused on art, I was definitely running into the issue where I was just like, felt like I was needing something to say. Yeah. So
sure.
I just let that go and just was like, I gotta, and then the inspiration that would come to me was more like these, more, I guess, industrial.
And like practical human concepts.
Yeah. Those are more the ideas that started coming to me naturally. And,
for me, this is maybe consistent with all the skater kids of college. There was kind of real, quote unquote, realness about where they were approaching art from that didn't suit academia very well often. But it's like this gateway into making and autonomy and control, it seems, skateboarding. I have no relationship to skateboarding at all. Yeah, but like photography, film, etc. So I don't think they always see it. It's a little more physical, a little more embodied. I don't think they always see it from this perspective of, I have this great thing to tell you about, or this opinion, or this, I need to express this emotion. It always seemed more grounded and practical, which I respect.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
And so you still skate?
Whenever I can. It's a battle to get the time. But
you have a child.
It's my favorite form of activity.
So can you speak to what it's like to have a child and trying to pursue these creative things?
For me, it's great. He's a great guy. He's a great little dude. He's a
good dude.
He makes it pretty easy, I think. I think I'm pretty blessed.
Good, man.
Yeah, that way. And it's just focuses everything.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Focuses everything.
It just sharpens your senses.
Yeah. And that's something else I wanted to say about finding peeler was, when focusing on art, it was kind of like I was just jumping from skill to skill and like thinking maybe one of these things was going to like be the spark that told me what I needed to express, or I was just learning tool after tool after tool. And it was awesome to land on an idea that the idea was there. And then I knew what tools I needed to learn to achieve it. Even though at the beginning, like there was a 5-year gap where I was like, I can't learn a 3D modeling. I don't have time to learn a 3D modeling program. And also the programs have just gotten so much easier. I think. Yeah. Like from when I first
COVID afforded you the time to kind of focus on that.
But to be honest, I was like, wow, these tools are so intuitive now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not hard at all. Yeah. So,
do you see the second iteration of the peeler? Do you understand where you need to take it?
I think there is one obvious next step that requires another mold, and that's going to be less cards.
Less cards?
Yeah, like a space that actually holds less cards, like 4 or less. Yeah.
Right, because you can't really have less cards and they all jump away. They all fall away.
They feel like they're loose inside, yeah. They'll still stay pretty contained, but it feels more secure if you have the void where the cards go totally full.
Do you have any prior, like in your lifetime, how many wallets have you had?
Good question. I think it was 2 before I started biking to work every day. And then it was probably 2 iterations before I landed on the final leather version. And then went through a bunch of those with just different colors and stuff. And then there was, I think, 5. It took 5 prototypes of this silicone version, and I would use those too. So it's been 8, 9, 10, 11, I think.
Yeah, no, it's just got me reminiscing about all the wallets I've had.
Yeah.
I had a Misfits chain wallet that someone stole in high school in gym class.
That's what the chain's for. How'd they pull that off?
It was in my locker. I wasn't attached to it. No, but they become very intimate things, and I always resented paying money for wallets because it's like there's something oxymoronic about it, you know?
Uh-huh.
You should be putting money in it, not
like an ATM fee kind of.
Yeah. But it brings me, as we talk, it makes me think. Some of the people I talk to, they have very obvious or clear identities because they just do one thing. Maybe they paint and they're a painter. Yeah. And they think of themselves in that light. You know, they wake up and I'm a painter, etc. From your perspective, I mean, throughout your whole life, even as a young child, what is the identity you latch onto most? Are you an artist? Are you a designer? Are you...
That's a good question.
Somebody asks you on the street, what do you do? Are you a sound engineer?
Yeah, sound mixer.
But is that really encapsulating?
That's definitely not my identity, no.
Because you're a biker, you're a skater. It's like if there's something, I don't know. I ask because I do think these categorical distinctions affect the way we perceive.
I think I actually, that is something I roll around in my head every once in a while, because when people ask me where I'm from, I don't even have a clear answer to that.
Where are you from?
What I tell people is I was born in Baltimore. A lot of my family roots are there. And then I was in high school in Westchester, New York.
And why is that not true? Or why is that?
Because I don't feel like I'm from there. I think they go, because between there, I lived in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and like, I don't know the roads in Maryland, but that's kind of like where all my folk are. So I get along with. That's like my grandparents' houses were the home I would go back to the most.
But like as a young child, what were you? Did you?
I wanted to be a ninja, which is awesome because that's like kind of my persona as a sound mixer, I think. I'm like, people have many times people have said like, dude, you're like a ninja. You just kind of like sneak around and get it done. And I'm just like, dude, that's awesome. That's like,
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that wallet
growing up, they got me into skateboarding, I think. And so I was like, yeah, that could be a ninja as a thing. And
my guess is half the people interviewed on this podcast are deeply influenced by the Ninja Turtles. Talk about an idea pulled from the ether that just doesn't make any sense why it's so gripping. But
I think the movie, I got to go back and
the world.
I got to go back and watch the live action movie because
it's great.
I think it starts with somebody stealing a wallet.
Does it?
I think so. I think that's like the first sequence is like I don't even know what that character is, but he's just
it's just a concise metaphor of New York City life. Is that what it's trying to do?
Yeah. And it's like this pickpocket and they pass it from one person to the other. It ends up in this, and he's the guy with the hockey stick, I think, and the face mask.
Casey.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Casey Jones.
I think that introduces him. I could be totally wrong. That's how I remember it. And then they have
well, that just threw me off on a tangent. Oh, so you were a ninja child, and I mean, the wallet I think a ninja could have that wallet.
Well, I think it's interesting. Quiet. Like, was that opening scene so deeply embedded in my subconscious that I was just like continually attracted to? I just got pulled back to wallets somehow.
I'm not going there. I don't.
Freaking me out lately.
It sounds like
I'm like, I have the ninja part done, and now I need the wallet part. What the fuck? Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've satiated all of your childhood, because there's a kind of a time span to being a skater, and you probably did it already.
Oh yeah.
Right.
My knee hurts.
Like your knees are done.
Yep.
And biking, you still do that?
Yeah. Yep.
What am I missing?
About Peeler?
No, in general, what do you think I'm missing?
You?
Yeah. In the whole story.
About how Peeler came about?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. People need
absolutely.
You got to experience the object.
I think so.
Do you have ambitions beyond the Peeler, or is it really just how to get it out there?
No, it's definitely, how to get it out there. It's challenging enough.
And your wife is also an artist? I don't know. We didn't establish that you're an artist, but for the sake of the podcast.
We met in Philly and then moved to New York together. So she got her master's in industrial design.
Oh, okay.
And she's in that field. Yep.
So that doesn't seem like a coincidence.
No.
So I'm assuming she helped in that process a bit?
Absolutely. Yeah. And just dealing with the factory, and like she's from Hong Kong. So dealing with China and all that kind of thing is invaluable. And
you both use the wallet or no?
We do. Yep. My whole family uses it. Like my brothers, my mom, my dad. Yeah, I'm pretty relentless. So I hope they are enjoying it, but they say they do, but.
So do you feel that you need to express yourself? Do you do side projects that are more of the fine art nature, or is that just a thing that was kind of part of your, schooling in college?
Even in college, expression just didn't happen. It's weird. It's like there's like a desire to get weird, to like just see what feels to me how weird I can go. It's just like other people will look at it and not think it's weird at all, but I'm just like trying to go, just keep going weird and see if I still like it. Like the end product is still something that I like, whatever that means. It's also very hard to quantify, but so I always have, it's been a great outlet for that, like creating content and like you said, just like an outlet of stop like having opinions about what other people are doing. I was like getting really sick of that and feeling like I didn't have an outlet for just going for it myself and having control.
So, but how do you get weird now? Like the Peeler is not very weird.
No, not at all. But the content. So the content.
What content?
Oh, just the Instagram account and the website. It's still a lot of work to do. And a lot of the stuff that I push the weirdness of it doesn't end up making sense, but it's still I still get that outlet.
Huh. So you want to get weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. You,
so
you
like
don't strike me as weird. Are you weird? You don't strike me as weird.
Maybe. I don't know. We're all weird, I think.
No. There's a lot of people who aren't weird. No.
No?
I don't think so.
But like the only reel on the account is that's where I want to go. It's like the only video content. And it's like where the peeler's all squished up. It looks like it's like a sea urchin that kind of floats through the frame and like squishes and then bounces away. And that was done with all practical effects, and I want to do more stuff like that. I think
that's interesting to me. Is like a lot of people do find satisfaction in that kind of, what would you say? It's like window dressing, or the way I put it is like lighting an object. Like an object is objectively there, but then you could light it really poorly and it could look horrible, or you could light it really well and it looks beautiful. And that's all advertising is. And some people really enjoy kind of playing with that. So that's interesting to hear that might be where your creativity ends up, is just how you present this object that isn't particularly strange. I mean, I do think it is a little odd in a good way. It's an odd, I don't know how often you encounter silicone in that context outside of sex toys. There's a different context. But
I thought about doing a campaign like that. Like, which one would you prefer, like the Ridge or this one? Like if you were going the sex toy route.
Yeah, if you want to get weird with it, I think that's a play.
Which do you want to put in your pocket? Yeah. Okay,
so I think I understand.
But yeah, that's something interesting too. Like, because I fantasize about like the products that I'm more drawn to are just like, they're just like simple, like they exist in like a catalog. They're just like on like a denim blue background. They're just sitting there. That's like the marketing and the brands that I'm attracted to personally. And I was like, I fantasized that that's what this would be.
What are some of those brands? I don't think I'm that familiar with this world.
They're not brands. That's the problem. They're not recognizable brands. So that's why I recognize like, I need to maybe do a little more
of that.
Well, like McMaster-Carr, there you go. Like the products in McMaster-Carr, it's like it's just the thing sitting on it's like the most clear photograph of like a thing that you just need to know kind of the dimensions and that kind of, that's what when I am shopping around, that's what I'm attracted to.
Just like a very dry presentation.
Yeah, totally dry. Yeah.
Modern in some ways.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, I tried to boil the peeler down to something that was like reminiscent of that. And then I fantasize about just presenting it that way, and then like, the world's gonna love it.
Right. Well, I mean, it strikes me as, so like, who are your influences? Are your influences artists? Are you inspired by skaters, etc.? Like who really
I would say surfing cultures. Really?
So you surf?
I paddleboard now that I'm up in the Bronx. It's like, it's a drag to get all the way down to where I can surf.
But have you surfed?
Yes. I still surf when I can in the just in the summer. I'm not getting out there in the fall or anything now.
Is this like a progression that happens sometimes from skating to surfing as one?
I think so. I think it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the world you're interested in. You're not going to MoMA and looking at whatever the hell's going on with MoMA.
No. And for this product, it was pretty insular. I wasn't like looking to be like anything. It is like things. It is like other things, but I wasn't looking at other things when I was making it.
Well, yeah, in a way, it just is, and it is informed by what it serves in the most minimal way possible.
Yeah.
It's just like what needs to go in it, and then put flesh around that need.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's just it's a skin over what I needed to carry.
Oh, and you can peel skin.
Hey.
You. I get it. Well, how can what do you want people to do about this? You want them to go to the website and buy a bunch of peelers?
Oh, you know it.
You're gonna give them a deal?
Buy direct.
Can we get a deal?
Oh, absolutely.
Any deals on here?
Yeah. What do we do?
I don't know. You got a code? I've never done this, but I feel like I got to feel like on a podcast.
Let's put this together. What's your code?
Right.
What do you want because I want it to be a code that is on brand for you.
Well, I mean, blind shovel.
Blind shovel. That's a long code.
BS 20 is it 20% off? Too much?
No. I'm thinking BS.
We're workshopping this live.
Because
let's go BS 25.
How long does it last?
The code?
Oh, it's first 1,000 people.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, we'll get there.
That's what I'm saying.
All right,
1,000 people to enter the promo code BS20, get 20% off.
That's awesome.
Store wide at peelerwallet.com.
That's amazing. And who is this? Who should buy it? Who is this for?
This is it's really for people that I think are concerned about like not feeling the burden of a wallet. And wow. I think that comes
the burden.
Yeah. Like if you're going on a jog or walking the dog on a hike or biking or skateboarding, it's a little more than just like slimming down for style. It's it's like,
but also, and you don't have a lot of money. It's $20.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And gift. I think it makes a good gift.
That's true.
It's just like a different take on something that people are familiar with. And it's not like, why would I need this? It's kind of an everyday object that's like maybe has some interest. So I think
this has been a very interesting episode in the sense that it is kind of like a promo or an ad for an object, which is the first time I've done this. I'm not getting paid. Can you confirm that?
You are not.
No.
So generosity of your heart. Yeah.
This is a genuine, we know each other, not deeply, but we knew each other.
Yeah.
And we're just talking about something that Matthew invented. All right.
Later.
Music by Dory Bavarsky and Mingja Chen. Next up, we have Zach Hazard Valpin. Enjoy your week.